A call from heaven breaks the silence, echoing with urgency and love that cannot be ignored. This is not just any ordinary moment. This is a sacred and rare moment when the veil between the living and the eternal is lifted. It is a call from a mother who has passed on, whose spirit now stands in the presence of the divine, and whose love and concern for her child have not ceased even in death. Her voice, though no longer bound by the earthly realm, calls out from the heavens, breaking through the stillness of eternity. In her heart, there is one last message she must deliver, a truth she could not share while she was alive, and she now has the chance to speak it. Her voice resonates with a depth of love that transcends the boundaries of life and death, filled with a longing to make sure that her child receives the wisdom and comfort she was unable to provide before. Time is running out, and her message must be heard before it's too late. Archangel Michael stands as the messenger, delivering the divine warning. Do not ignore this call, for it may be the last time this moment presents itself. The urgency in his words is clear. Heaven itself is watching as this crucial moment unfolds, and the stakes are high. This is not a mere message from the past. It is a divine intervention, a final opportunity to receive guidance that has been written in the stars long before the listener was born. Archangel Michael's words carry the weight of eternity as he urges the listener to open their heart and listen carefully, for the divine timing of this moment cannot be overstated. The heavens tremble, and the angels are standing by, watching the listener's every choice. This is a crossroads in the journey of life, and the direction taken now will shape the course of the listener's destiny. The call from heaven is not a fleeting thought or a passing breeze. It is a sacred summons that cannot be ignored. The listener is urged to make a decision now, to answer the call with an open heart, or risk missing the moment forever. As the mother's voice rings out from the heavens, it is more than just a whisper carried by the winds of time. It is a powerful, resounding message that reaches deep into the listener's soul. She speaks from a place where time no longer exists, where the weight of earthly constraints fades away, and only truth and love remain. Her words are filled with the truths she carried with her to the afterlife, the secrets and wisdom that were left unspoken while she was alive. There were things she wished she could have shared, feelings she longed to express, but her time on earth was short. Now, through the grace of divine intervention, she is given one final chance to reach her beloved child. She calls out, not just as a mother, but as a soul who has seen beyond the veil, understanding the importance of this moment and the impact it will have on the listener's life. Her voice is both tender and urgent, filled with love and regret, as she implores the listener to hear her, to understand the truths that she could not convey before. The weight of her message is heavy, but it is a message of love, of healing, and of hope. It is a message that will change everything if only the listener chooses to listen. The heavens tremble with anticipation as her voice reverberates through the chambers of eternity, and the listener stands at the threshold, poised to receive a message that could alter the course of their life forever. The urgency of the message cannot be overstated. Heaven itself trembles with the weight of what is being conveyed, and the mother's voice reaches the listener as if time itself has momentarily stopped. This is not a passing moment, but one of divine magnitude. The air is thick with the presence of something far greater than any earthly experience, as though the heavens are holding their breath, waiting for the listener to fully grasp the significance of this moment. The mother's voice, warm and filled with love, is heavy with concern. It is the voice of a mother who has crossed over into eternity, but still feels the pull of her child's heart, unable to leave them without imparting one last piece of wisdom. Her love for her child has not wavered, and her concern for their well-being has only grown stronger in the afterlife. It is not just a message she wishes to share, it is a part of her soul, a truth she has carried with her, and now, with divine permission, is finally able to reveal. The heavens have opened this moment to her, allowing her to speak words that were left unsaid while she was alive, and she is determined that her child hears them, for this is her final chance to impart her wisdom. The gravity of the moment rests heavily on the listener's heart. It is a chance they never expected, yet one that has been preordained, a moment that has been written in the stars long before they ever took their first breath. As the voice of the mother echoes from beyond the veil, the listener feels the weight of her love and regret. There were things she wanted to say while she was alive, but never had the chance. Now, with the veil between worlds lifted, her soul speaks to them with clarity and urgency. She shares truths that she kept hidden for reasons only understood in the afterlife. Truths that she could not express in the constraints of her earthly life. Perhaps she feared hurting her child. Perhaps she thought they were not ready. Or perhaps she simply lacked the words. But now, in the timeless space where she resides, she can speak freely. These are not trivial words, nor are they merely comforting reassurances. These are the final pieces of wisdom that will shape the listener's path forward. They are truths about their own life, about their purpose, and about the choices that lie ahead. The love she has for them transcends all the earthly boundaries that once held her back. With the clarity of eternity, she speaks of the path that has brought the listener to this moment and the crossroads that lie just ahead. Her message is not just a reflection of the past, but a guide for the future. But with this revelation comes the knowledge that the moment is fleeting, and the opportunity to hear these words may never come again. Archangel Michael's voice breaks through, firm and commanding, adding weight to the warning. He speaks with a sense of finality, urging the listener to understand that once this moment passes, it may never return. The divine timing of this message is not a coincidence. It has been orchestrated by forces far beyond human comprehension. There are no second chances in matters of destiny. When a moment like this arises, it must be seized, for it may be the only one. The heavens have carefully timed this divine revelation, and the listener stands at a critical juncture. It is a moment that carries the power to transform their life, to alter the course of their journey in ways they cannot yet fully understand. But the choice is theirs. Archangel Michael, with all the authority granted to him, makes it clear. The listener can choose to listen, to open their heart and receive the message, or they can close their ears and ignore the call, allowing it to slip away. But if they choose to ignore it, they risk missing the chance of a lifetime, a chance that may never come again. The heavens tremble because they know how rare and precious this opportunity is. This is not a warning to be taken lightly. This is the last chance to receive a message of such divine significance. The weight of Archangel Michael's words presses in on the listener. His presence, steady and unshakable, stands as a reminder of the importance of what is happening right now. The stakes are high, and the consequences of the listener's choice will ripple through their life, affecting not just their own destiny, but the destinies of those around them. Archangel Michael's message is not one of fear, but of empowerment. He is not here to scare the listener, but to awaken them to the gravity of the situation. This is the time to step forward with faith, to open their heart to the divine, and to trust that the message they are about to receive will guide them towards something greater than they have ever known. The moment is here, and it is not to be taken lightly. The mother's voice, filled with love and urgency, calls out one last time. She has fought for this chance to speak, and she begs the listener not to let it slip away. The love she has for them is eternal, and she cannot rest until her final message is heard. This is her last chance to guide them, to offer the wisdom that can only come from a mother's heart, a heart that has transcended death itself. Her words are not just advice, they are a lifeline, a beacon of light in a world that often feels dark and uncertain. And now, in this moment of divine intersection, the listener is invited to hear them. The choice is theirs to make. Will they listen, or will they let this divine opportunity pass by, never to return again? The weight of their decision will shape not just their own fate, but the fate of those they love. This is the moment of choice, the last chance to embrace the message of love, protection, and divine guidance. In this sacred moment, the veil between life and death is lifted, and the listener experiences a presence unlike anything they have ever felt. It is as though the very fabric of existence has thinned, allowing the listener to step into a realm where time and space no longer hold sway. They are not merely hearing a voice, they are feeling a presence, warm, familiar, and full of love. It is their mother's presence, but it is not bound by the limitations of the physical world. In this moment, she is closer to them than she ever was in life. Her spirit, freed from the confines of a mortal body, reaches out, not as a distant memory, but as a living, breathing force that fills the air around them. The listener can feel her love, her concern, her very essence wrapping around them, as if she is standing right beside them, holding them in a space where heaven and earth meet. This is no mere figment of the imagination. This is an extraordinary experience that defies logic and reason. It is a moment of divine intervention, a direct connection with the spiritual realm that has been orchestrated by forces far beyond human comprehension. The listener is no longer bound to the limitations of their senses, for in this moment, the boundaries between the earthly and the heavenly have dissolved. The mother's voice, once silenced by death, now speaks louder than ever before, not through the filter of memory or the passage of time, but with the clarity and urgency of a message that has been waiting for this very moment. Her words carry a depth of love and wisdom that transcends anything the listener has ever known. It is as though the very fabric of her being is infused with the power of the afterlife, and that power reaches out to touch the listener in a way that is both overwhelming and comforting. The love that fills the listener's heart is stronger than death itself. This is not the love of a mother that was bound by time, by age, or by the limits of human understanding. No, this is the love of a mother who has crossed the threshold of death and returned to speak, a love that has been purified and made eternal. It is a love that has been tested by the separation of life and death, a love that has transcended the physical realm to become something even more powerful, more all-encompassing. The listener feels this love deep in their bones, a love that fills every corner of their being, sweeping away any doubts or fears that might linger. It is the kind of love that heals,
that restores, that lifts up and holds steady in the face of life's greatest trials. It is a love that is unshakable, unwavering, and eternal. No matter what the listener has gone through, no matter the pain they have endured, this love remains. And it is in this love that they find their strength. As the mother's voice continues to speak, Archangel Michael steps forward, his presence as strong and commanding as ever. He is the messenger, the guardian of divine truth, and he emphasizes the miraculous nature of this moment. The message that the listener is receiving is not a mistake. This divine intervention, this connection between the living and the afterlife, is not some random event or a fleeting illusion. It is part of a larger plan, a plan that has been in motion long before the listener even knew they needed it. Archangel Michael's words are not just a reminder of the significance of this moment. They are a reassurance that everything happening right now is exactly as it should be. There are no coincidences in the divine realm, and this moment has been carefully orchestrated by the Creator to bring about a change in the listener's life that could not have happened any other way. Archangel Michael's presence carries with it the weight of divine authority. He speaks with a clarity and power that leaves no room for doubt. His voice cuts through the air like a sword of light, and as he delivers the mother's words, the listener feels the force of the divine truth that is being shared. There is no mistake in this message. There is no miscommunication. What they are hearing is the truth, and it is the truth that will set them free. The mother's words, now delivered with the authority of Archangel Michael, carry even more weight than before.
They are not just the words of a mother. They are the words of a soul who has transcended the limitations of earthly life and now speaks with the clarity and understanding of the eternal. This is a message that is meant for the listener, and it is meant to bring them peace, guidance, and clarity in the midst of uncertainty. The message is clear. This is not a coincidence. The listener has been brought to this moment for a reason, and they are being offered something that could change the course of their life. The mother's love, now amplified by the divine presence surrounding her, is a love that cannot be ignored. The listener is being called to open their heart and receive the truth that is being offered. The time for doubt and uncertainty has passed. The moment to act is now. Archangel Michael's warning is not one of fear, but of empowerment. He is not here to scare the listener into submission. Rather, he is here to remind them of the power they hold within themselves and the divine guidance that is available to them. The mother's voice is a bridge between heaven and earth, and Archangel Michael is the one who ensures that the message reaches its intended recipient. This is the listener's moment of awakening, their moment to hear the truth and embrace the love that is waiting for them. The experience is nothing short of miraculous. It is not something that can be easily explained or understood by the rational mind, but it is something that must be felt in the heart. The listener is being given the opportunity to connect with the divine in a way that few ever will. This is a rare and precious moment, one that has been written into their destiny from the very beginning. The veil has been lifted, and the listener is being called to step into a new reality, one where love, truth, and divine guidance are their constant companions. The love of the mother, now eternal and unbreakable, will continue to guide them. And the words she speaks, delivered through Archangel Michael, will continue to resonate in their heart long after this moment has passed. The listener is not alone. They have been divinely chosen for this moment, and the heavens are standing with them every step of the way. The choice they make now will determine the course of their destiny, and the message they receive will guide them into a future that is filled with divine favor and blessings. In this sacred moment, the mother, now free from the confines of her earthly body, begins to share the deep secrets and concerns she could not express before her death. These are not simple words of comfort. They are profound truths, born of a love so deep that it reaches beyond the grave. In life, there were things she could not say, perhaps because the time never felt right, or because her human limitations kept her from fully understanding the weight of the words. But now, standing in the presence of eternity, she speaks with the clarity and urgency that only the afterlife can provide. There were fears she carried silently in her heart, fears for her child's future, concerns that weighed heavily on her soul while she was alive. These concerns were not born out of doubt or anxiety, but from the profound love she had for her child and the desire to protect them from harm. Now, with the veil between worlds lifted, she has the chance to speak these truths, to pass on the wisdom she couldn't share before, and to ensure that her child is equipped to face the challenges ahead. These truths are not just mere words. They are essential for the listener's path. They carry the weight of divine guidance, offering insight into the dangers that lie ahead and the people who may pose threats to their journey. The mother's love has not only protected the listener during her lifetime, but now, even in death, it continues to serve as a guiding light.
She speaks of the hidden dangers that may lurk in the path ahead, those subtle yet significant obstacles that could derail the listener from their divine purpose. Perhaps it is a person in their life who pretends to care for them, but in reality harbors envy or ill will. Or perhaps it is a situation that seems harmless on the surface, but holds the potential to lead them astray. The mother warns her child with the fierce protection of a love that is eternal, urging them to be cautious, to trust their instincts, and to see beyond the surface of things. She knows the pain of watching her child face hardship, and though she cannot shield them from every challenge, she can offer them the wisdom to navigate these dangers with grace and strength. Her words are not just warnings, but acts of love, guiding her child to avoid the traps that could hinder their journey and to step boldly into the future that has been prepared for them. But even as the mother speaks of the dangers, she also speaks of the miracle waiting for the listener. This is not just a message of caution or concern, it is a message of hope and promise. The mother, with all the love of an eternal soul, reassures her child that there is a miracle ahead, a miracle that has been waiting for them since the beginning of time. This miracle is not a distant dream or a far-off fantasy. It is real, it is tangible, and it is closer than they think. The listener may not yet see it, may not yet understand how it will manifest, but the mother knows that it is waiting for them. She speaks of the divine blessings that have been carefully orchestrated, blessings that are meant to bring healing, restoration, and transformation. These blessings are not just for the listener alone. They are part of a larger divine plan that will ripple through their life, affecting everyone they touch. The miracle she speaks of is one that will bring light into their life, shining through the darkness and revealing the path they are meant to walk. It is a miracle of provision, of opportunities, of healing, and of love, one that will come to fruition if they remain faithful and open to God's guidance. As the mother shares these truths, her love for her child transcends death itself. This is not just the love of a mother who cared for her child while she was alive. This is a love that has been purified by eternity. It is a love that has been tested by the separation of life and death, a love that continues to burn brightly before the throne of God. The mother's prayers for her child did not end with her physical death. They have continued to rise before God's altar, a sweet fragrance that has not faded with time. These prayers, born of a mother's love, are still burning in the presence of the divine, interceding for the listener's protection and blessings. The listener may not always feel it, but the mother's prayers are there, surrounding them like a shield, providing strength and comfort in moments of uncertainty. The mother knows the struggles her child has faced, the battles they have fought in the quiet moments when no one else was watching, and her heart aches for every tear shed in silence. But even as she feels the weight of her child's pain, she knows that her prayers are being heard. God has not forgotten her child. His love, like hers, transcends all boundaries, and He is working behind the scenes to bring about the miracle that has been promised. The mother's love and prayers are the foundation upon which this miracle is being built, and though the listener may not always see it, they are being protected and guided by forces far greater than they can comprehend. The mother's voice trembles with the intensity of her love and the urgency of her message.
She knows that time is short, that the moments are fleeting, but she also knows that the listener is not alone. Her prayers continue to carry her child through every trial, every challenge, and every moment of uncertainty. She speaks with the certainty of a mother who has seen the future, who knows what is coming, and who understands the significance of this moment. The listener is being given a chance to step into their destiny, a destiny that has been written with divine intention. But they must listen to the truth their mother is sharing, for it holds the key to unlocking the miracle that awaits them. The love she speaks of is not a passive love. It is an active, living force that will guide them, protect them, and lead them to the place where the miracle will unfold. The mother's final truth is not just about the dangers or the blessings. It is about the divine love that will sustain them through it all. This love, both from the mother and from the Creator, will carry them through the darkness and into the light, into the miracle that has been prepared for them. And as they step into that miracle, they will know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they were never alone, that their mother's love and prayers have been with them every step of the way. The mother's voice, soft but resolute, takes on a tone of warning as she speaks of the fragile miracle that lies just ahead for the listener. She knows the path they walk, the struggles they face, and the challenges they must overcome. But what she also knows, deep in her soul, is that the miracle they've been waiting for is so close they can almost feel it. Yet it is delicate, like a thread that could unravel if the wrong choices are made. She speaks of it not as a distant hope, but as a living, breathing reality, something that exists in the present, waiting for them to reach out and claim it. But this miracle, as real as it is, will not simply fall into their lap. It requires careful steps, discernment, and courage to seize it. The mother knows that the listener is at a crossroads, standing between two possible futures. One where they embrace their destiny and walk boldly into the light of their miracle, and one where they allow fear, doubt, or distraction to lead them astray. The fragile nature of this miracle means that the listener cannot afford to make hasty decisions, nor can they afford to listen to the wrong voices. The path ahead is one of choices, choices that will either bring them closer to the miracle or push it further from reach. It is in this moment that the mother urges the listener to listen carefully, to pay attention to the whispers of their heart, to trust the divine guidance that is unfolding before them, and to make the right decisions with the knowledge that their future is being shaped with every step. The mother's concern is palpable, and as she speaks, she reminds the listener of the prayers that have carried them through every moment of their life. Those prayers are not just memories. They are living, powerful forces still alive before God's throne. The mother's heart, though no longer bound by her earthly body, continues to intercede for her child, pleading for their protection and guidance. Her prayers are like incense rising before God, carrying with them the weight of a mother's love and the strength of a soul that has crossed into eternity. She is not a distant, disconnected figure.
She is an active participant in the listener's journey, praying for them with every breath, with every beat of her eternal heart. These prayers are not idle. They are filled with power, with purpose, and with the divine strength to protect the listener from harm and to guide them toward their true destiny. She speaks of them now with a love that has only grown stronger in the afterlife, urging the listener to remember that they are not alone.
Even in the moments when they feel lost, abandoned, or unsure, the mother's prayers continue to surround them like a shield, providing strength and comfort when it feels like the world is too much to bear. These prayers are a constant reminder that no matter how dark the road may seem, the light of divine love is never far away. The listener is being held in the embrace of a love that transcends time and space, a love that will never let them go. And the mother's voice carries with it the eternal reminder that God's protection and guidance are always within reach. But even as the mother speaks of her prayers and the protection they offer, her voice grows more urgent, for she knows the fragility of the moment. The miracle that awaits the listener is not guaranteed. It is something that must be actively pursued, something that requires their full attention and willingness to step into the unknown with faith and trust. The mother, in her wisdom, understands that the listener is at a critical juncture, a point in time where the choices made will have a lasting impact on their destiny. The miracle is not just a prize to be won. It is a journey that requires commitment, sacrifice, and faith. The listener must trust in the path, even when it is unclear, and they must be willing to let go of the past, to release the doubts and fears that have held them back for so long. The mother's plea is simple but profound. Listen carefully. Do not ignore the signs. Do not dismiss the whispers of your heart, and do not let fear dictate your steps. The time for hesitation is over. The miracle is ready, but it requires action. It requires a commitment to step forward, to take the leap of faith, and to trust that God is with them every step of the way. The listener must not allow fear or uncertainty to paralyze them. They must move forward with courage, knowing that the divine intervention they have prayed for is already in motion, and it is waiting for them to claim it. As the mother's voice grows fainter, she urges the listener to remember one thing above all else. This is not a moment that can be recaptured. The listener may feel as though they have time, as though they can wait until the circumstances are perfect, but the truth is that the miracle waiting for them is fragile, and it will not wait forever. This moment, this divine intersection of timing, is rare and precious. If they miss it, they may never have another chance to embrace the fullness of their destiny. The listener must not allow themselves to be distracted by the noise of the world or the voices that would lead them astray. There is a divine calling on their life, and they must answer it now. The mother's voice trembles with the weight of this truth, and as she speaks, she reminds the listener that the path ahead is not without obstacles, but the reward is worth every sacrifice. The miracle, once received, will bring healing, restoration, and a new beginning. But they must step forward with faith, trusting that every step taken in alignment with God's will is one that brings them closer to the life they were always meant to live. In her final plea, the mother emphasizes that the listener's actions in this moment are not just for themselves. They will have a ripple effect, touching the lives of others in ways they cannot yet comprehend. The choices they make will not only affect their own future, but will shape the future of those around them. This is a moment of divine opportunity, one that will unlock blessings not only for the listener, but for their loved ones and the generations to come. The mother's heart is full of love, full of hope, and full of a deep, unshakable belief that her child is capable of great things. She knows the strength that lies within them, the divine purpose they were born to fulfill. She has seen the potential, the greatness,
and the miracle that lies in wait. But the listener must choose to act.
They must choose to step into the light, to embrace the love that is being offered, and to trust that the miracle is not just a distant dream, but a living reality that is ready to unfold. The mother's love, her prayers, and her final message are all woven together in this moment, urging the listener to listen, to trust, and to act. This is the time. This is the moment of transformation. The miracle is waiting, but it is fragile, and it is up to the listener to claim it. The heavens are watching, and the mother's voice calls out one last time, urging her child to take the step forward and embrace the destiny that is already unfolding before them. In the quiet and stillness of this moment, Archangel Michael's voice rings clear, cutting through the uncertainty and doubt that may cloud the listener's heart. With the authority granted to him by the divine, he affirms something that cannot be overstated. God's hand is in motion. The listener is not merely standing on the precipice of their destiny, they are being divinely protected and guided, even now. In the unseen realms, forces of light are at work, orchestrating events in ways that the listener cannot yet fully comprehend. Archangel Michael's words are not just a reassurance, they are a declaration of divine truth. God, the creator of all, is actively involved in the listener's life. Every step they take, every choice they make, is not alone. The divine is moving alongside them, working behind the scenes to ensure that they are protected, that they are shielded from harm, and that they are led toward the life they were always meant to live. The listener may not always see it, but they are being guided in ways that are both profound and personal. Archangel Michael's presence is a reminder that, though the listener may walk through trials, they are never without protection.
The divine hand that shaped the universe is at work in their life, and it is this hand that will lift them, guide them, and ultimately carry them into the fulfillment of their purpose. The weight of Archangel Michael's words is felt deeply, for they come with the knowledge that this moment is more significant than the listener may realize. The spirits of heaven are recording their response. Every thought, every emotion, every decision they make right now is being noted in the heavenly realms. There is an awareness that transcends human understanding. Heaven is not distant or disconnected. It is active, present, and attentive. Every prayer that the listener has whispered, every cry for help that they have uttered in moments of despair, has been heard and is now being responded to. But this moment is pivotal. The listener's response, their openness to the divine message, will shape the course of their life in ways that will echo for years to come. It is not just their physical actions that matter. It is their heart's response. How they receive this message, how they choose to embrace the guidance being offered, will have lasting consequences. Heaven is watching, not in judgment, but with a deep, eternal love, knowing that the choices made now will influence the direction of the listener's journey. The stakes are high, but they are not alone. Every action they take in faith, every moment they choose to trust, is being recorded and remembered. This is a moment where the divine supports them, surrounds them, and offers them the strength to move forward. The listener is reminded that the heavens are watching, not with scrutiny, but with love and anticipation. This moment is not one of condemnation, but one of divine opportunity. The listener's openness to the message they are receiving will determine the path forward. It is not just about hearing the words, it is about receiving them into the heart, letting them take root, and allowing them to guide the choices ahead.
The listener stands at a crossroads, and their willingness to embrace the divine support being offered will determine the direction their life takes. Archangel Michael's presence serves as a reminder that the heavens are deeply invested in the listener's journey.
The path before them is filled with potential, but it is also filled with choices that will lead them either closer to their divine destiny or further away from it. The listener must choose to stay open, to trust in the divine wisdom that is being imparted, and to follow the guidance that is being offered. It is not an easy path, but it is the one that will lead them to the miracles they have been waiting for. Heaven is not passive. It is actively involved in the unfolding of their life. The listener's openness, their willingness to receive, and their ability to trust will be the key to unlocking the blessings and protection that God has in store for them. Archangel Michael continues, his voice steady and firm, offering the listener one final reassurance. They are not walking this path alone. Heaven is with them every step of the way, and the divine has already laid the groundwork for the future they are about to step into. The challenges may still be there, but the listener is not unequipped. They are divinely supported in ways that transcend their understanding, and they must trust that the divine has already prepared them for what is to come. Their actions in this moment are not just about their present circumstances. They are about their future, about the legacy they will leave behind, and about the generations that will be shaped by the choices they make today. Heaven is watching, yes, but not to judge them. It is watching to see if they will take the step of faith, if they will trust the divine process, and if they will accept the guidance being offered.
The listener is not being asked to walk into the unknown alone. They are being asked to walk with the divine at their side, knowing that every step they take is guided by a force far greater than they can comprehend. This moment, then, becomes about more than just the listener's personal journey. It becomes about their divine purpose. Heaven is not just witnessing their actions, it is supporting them in fulfilling the role they were always meant to play. Every trial, every victory, every moment of uncertainty has led them to this point. And now they are being called to take the next step with faith and trust. Archangel Michael's voice is a beacon of encouragement, urging the listener to move forward with confidence, knowing that the divine hand is leading them. The listener may not see the full picture yet, but they are being led towards something greater than themselves. The divine has already prepared the way, and the only thing left is for the listener to step into it with an open heart. The heavens are watching, not to see if they will succeed or fail, but to see if they will choose faith over fear, trust over doubt, and love over uncertainty. In this divine support, the listener finds their strength. They are not alone. Heaven is with them, guiding them, and affirming that every choice they make, when aligned with divine will lead them to the fulfillment of their purpose. The listener's openness to this truth is the key to unlocking the miracle that awaits them. Archangel Michael's presence is not just a reminder of divine protection, but of divine opportunity. The listener is standing on the edge of something great, and with the support of the heavens, they are being called to take that leap of faith. This is not a moment of hesitation, but one of action, one of stepping into the light of their true calling, knowing that the divine is walking beside them. With every step, they are moving closer to the life they were always meant to live, and heaven is right there, cheering them on every step of the way. The miracle that has been promised is now imminent, standing just beyond the horizon, waiting for the listener to step forward and claim it. However, the listener is reminded that this miracle, as close as it may be, is fragile. Like a delicate flower that has just bloomed, it requires care, attention, and the right conditions to thrive. It is not something that will simply fall into the listener's lap without their participation.
This miracle is part of the divine plan, a gift that has been prepared with great care and love, but it is one that must be embraced with intention and faith. The listener must not rush past it or take it for granted. They must recognize the sacredness of this moment, understanding that this is a divine opportunity that cannot be squandered. Every choice, every step taken in faith is a part of the process of nurturing this miracle into full manifestation. It is the listener's trust, their commitment to walk the path laid before them, that will unlock the full potential of the miracle waiting for them. This is not a time for hesitation, but a time for the listener to engage fully with the divine plan and allow it to unfold in their life. In this moment, the listener is asked to affirm their belief in the divine message they have received, to actively participate in the manifestation of this miracle by making a declaration of faith. They are invited to subscribe, to engage with the message, and to make a public acknowledgement that they are ready to receive the blessings that are being offered. This is not just about subscribing to a channel or engaging with content. It is about making a commitment to be open, to be receptive, and to trust in the divine timing of what is to come.
By engaging with the message, the listener is showing their readiness, their willingness to step into the miracle that is unfolding before them. It is a small but powerful act of faith, a sign that they are ready to move forward, that they are prepared to embrace the divine support that has been made available to them. The act of engagement is a declaration to the heavens that they are listening, that their heart is open, and that they are ready to receive the blessings that are now so close at hand. It is not just a gesture, it is a powerful affirmation that the listener is aligning their will with the divine, stepping into the flow of divine guidance, and embracing the life that has been prepared for them. The act of subscribing and engaging becomes a sacred moment, one that acknowledges the sacredness of the journey ahead and the importance of walking it with faith and trust. As the listener makes this declaration of faith, Archangel Michael's voice rings out once more, strong and unwavering. His words carry the weight of divine authority, reminding the listener that the battle has already been won. This is not a struggle that is yet to be fought. It is a victory that has already been secured in the spiritual realm. Archangel Michael's words are a powerful reassurance that, even though the listener may face challenges on their journey, the outcome is already determined. The miracle that has been promised is not uncertain or distant. It is guaranteed. The divine plan is unfolding exactly as it should, and the listener is being called to trust in that process, to walk forward in confidence, knowing that the victory has already been claimed. Archangel Michael, with the power of the divine forces at his command, affirms that the listener's journey is one of triumph, not defeat. Every challenge, every obstacle that may arise is simply a part of the process, part of the divine orchestration that is leading the listener toward their miraculous breakthrough. The listener is not walking into the unknown without guidance. They are being divinely supported, and the victory is already theirs. The power of Archangel Michael's words is not just in the reassurance that the battle has been won, but in the confidence they instill in the listener. The path ahead is one of promise and transformation, and the listener is being invited to walk it with courage and faith. They are not walking alone. They are walking with the full support of heaven, with the knowledge that the divine has already prepared the way. The listener is urged to take this message to heart, to trust in the process, and to continue on their journey with confidence, knowing that the miracle is near. It is not a distant hope or a vague wish. It is a real, tangible reality that is waiting for them to step into it. The divine has already set things in motion, and now it is up to the listener to move forward with faith,
to step into the life that has been prepared for them, and to embrace the miracle that is just within reach. As Archangel Michael's words echo in the listener's heart, they are reminded once more of the significance of this moment. The miracle is not just about the gifts and blessings that are waiting for them. It is about the transformation that is taking place in their life right now. The listener is being prepared for something greater than they could have imagined. This is not just a personal victory. It is a victory that will have ripple effects, touching the lives of those around them and bringing about divine change in the world. The listener's journey is one of purpose, one that is unfolding with the precision of divine timing. The miracle that is waiting for them is not a random gift. It is a carefully crafted blessing, designed to bring about transformation in their life and the lives of others. And now, as they move forward in faith, they are invited to fully step into the life that has been written for them.
The battle has already been won. The miracle is near, and it is up to the listener to claim it, to step forward with confidence, and to trust that the divine has already laid the path before them. The heavens are watching, and the listener's openness and willingness to embrace this divine moment will determine the course of their journey. The time to act is now, and the miracle is waiting. As the miracle draws near, the listener is called to embrace the fullness of what is unfolding in their life. It is not just a passing event, but a culmination of all that they have endured, all that they have learned, and all that they have prayed for. The message they have received, the guidance they have been given, is not merely a passing word to comfort them in the moment. It is a divine invitation to step into a new reality, one where they are fully aligned with their divine purpose. The miracle that awaits is not just a solution to their current struggles. It is a gateway to a life filled with divine favor, an abundance of blessings, and the fulfillment of their true calling. As Archangel Michael's reassuring words continue to echo in the listener's heart, the depth of what is being promised begins to sink in. The listener realizes that the victory already secured by the divine is not a distant, abstract victory, but a personal victory meant specifically for them. They are being called to step into a life of purpose and abundance, to claim their rightful place in the divine plan. This is not a time for hesitation, nor is it a time to look back at the past with regret or fear. The divine is calling them forward, urging them to trust in the miracle that has been prepared for them. The listener's heart must remain open, their faith must remain unshaken, and their trust in God's timing and provision must be absolute. It is essential to recognize that this miracle is not simply about receiving blessings for oneself. It is about the divine transformation that the listener is undergoing, the spiritual growth that is taking place in their heart and mind. As they move forward in faith, they are not just stepping into a world of opportunities and blessings. They are being transformed into the person they were always meant to be. This miracle is not just a gift to be received. It is an invitation to grow, to evolve, and to step into a greater understanding of who they are in the divine plan. The process of receiving the miracle is as important as the miracle itself, for it is through this transformation that the listener will truly understand the depth of their divine purpose. The listener is reminded, as they walk through this pivotal moment, that the battle may have already been won in the spiritual realms, but it is their actions, their faith, and their willingness to move forward that will bring the victory into their tangible reality. They are not passive recipients of divine favor. They are active participants in the unfolding of their miracle. This is where their faith becomes not just a belief, but an action. The miracle is in motion, but it requires their partnership with God to bring it into fruition. They must take the first step, even when the full path is not yet visible, trusting that each subsequent step will be guided by the divine light. It is this faith in action, this trust in the unseen, that will unlock the doors to the blessings waiting for them. The challenge now is not whether the miracle will come, it is whether the listener will step into the fullness of what is being offered. God has already prepared everything needed for the breakthrough, but the listener must choose to trust, to engage, and to walk forward with courage. They must not be deterred by the shadows of doubt that might try to cloud their mind, or the noise of the world that might distract them from their purpose. Archangel Michael, ever faithful, reminds them that they are divinely protected, that the forces of heaven are surrounding them, and that no weapon formed against them will prosper. The enemy may try to sow seeds of fear, confusion, and doubt, but these are lies meant to distract them from their divine purpose. The battle has already been won, and now it is time for the listener to claim their victory, to walk forward in the confidence that they are not only supported by the heavens, but that they are equipped with everything they need to fulfill their destiny. The divine timing of this miracle cannot be overstated. This is not a random event. It is the result of a long process, a culmination of prayers, actions, and divine preparation. The listener has been prepared for this moment, even if they didn't know it. Every step they have taken, every challenge they have faced, every victory they have won has brought them to this point. The listener has been tested, refined, and shaped by the trials they have encountered. And now, at the perfect moment, the miracle is ready to unfold. It is not just a gift given out of the blue. It is the result of a journey, a divine orchestration that has been unfolding for a long time. The listener has been prepared for this moment, and they are ready to step into the life they were always meant to live. Archangel Michael, with his unwavering faith and protection, assures the listener once again that the miracle is not a far-off dream, but a reality that is already unfolding. It is not something that is unattainable. It is something that is within their grasp, waiting for them to claim it. The divine is not asking them to make this miracle happen. They are simply being called to trust in what has already been prepared. The forces of heaven are at work, aligning everything perfectly, bringing everything together at the right time. The listener's role is to trust, to remain faithful, and to take the steps that are being illuminated before them. In the stillness of this moment, the listener realizes that the miracle is already here. It is already unfolding, and it is already theirs to claim. All that is left is for them to step into it, to believe with every fiber of their being that the divine has already prepared this moment for them, and that they are worthy of receiving it. It is a moment of divine revelation, where everything they have been through, everything they have prayed for, everything they have hoped for, is coming together in this moment of grace. The miracle is not just something that will happen, it is something that is already in motion, and the listener is now being invited to walk into it, to receive it, and to claim it as their own. The time for waiting is over. The moment has arrived. The miracle is near. And it is time for the listener to step forward in faith, knowing that they are not walking alone. The heavens are with them, and the divine hand is guiding them every step of the way. This is their moment. This is their time. The miracle is here. All they need to do is walk into it with trust and faith, knowing that everything they have been waiting for is already being brought to fruition. This is the moment of divine breakthrough. This is the moment when everything changes, and it is up to the listener to claim it. In this sacred moment, the listener stands at a pivotal point in their journey,
a crossroads where the decisions they make will shape not only their own destiny, but also the future of their family and those who come after them. The weight of this decision is heavy, and yet it is filled with infinite potential. Every choice made from this moment forward will create ripples that extend far beyond the immediate moment.
The path they choose will determine not only their future, but will also influence the lives of those around them, altering the course of their family's legacy. This is not a small decision. It is a divine intersection, where every step forward is a step toward fulfillment, toward a life of purpose and blessing. The listener is reminded that the power to shape their own destiny lies within them, but it is through the trust and faith they place in God's divine plan that they will unlock the full potential of their journey. Every choice is an act of faith, and with every decision, they have the opportunity to align themselves with the divine will, to move forward in God's timing, and to embrace the miracle that has been prepared for them. The mother's voice, filled with both love and regret for the things left unsaid during her time on earth, echoes in the listener's heart, urging them to stay the course. She speaks not with condemnation, but with a tenderness that only a mother can possess. Her love for her child transcends the boundaries of life and death, and even from the other side of eternity, she implores the listener to trust in the plan that God has laid before them. The mother's words are filled with the understanding that life is not always easy, and the path forward may be fraught with challenges. But even in the face of uncertainty, she urges the listener to trust in God's plan, to trust that every step taken, no matter how difficult, is part of a greater purpose. There may be moments of doubt, moments when the road ahead seems unclear, but the mother's voice calls out with unwavering certainty that God's plan is perfect, and that it will lead the listener to a future far greater than they can imagine. She reminds them that every struggle, every trial, every moment of pain has not been in vain. It has been a part of the divine preparation for the blessings that are about to unfold. The mother, now freed from the limitations of earthly existence, sees beyond the veil and understands that the path forward is not only the right one, it is the one that will lead to the miracle that has been waiting for the listener all along. As the mother's words fill the listener's heart, they are encouraged to live fully, to trust completely, and to embrace the blessings that are already on the way. This is not a time for hesitation or fear, but a time to step into the fullness of what God has prepared. The listener is urged to let go of the past, to release the doubts and fears that have held them back, and to fully embrace the future that is unfolding before them. The divine has already set the stage for the miracle that is about to manifest in their life, and all that is left is for the listener to step into it with faith and confidence. The blessings that have been waiting for them are not distant dreams. They are already in motion, already being brought into fruition. But the listener must take that final step of faith, trusting that God's hand is guiding them every step of the way. They must trust that everything they have been through has led them to this moment, and that everything they have endured has prepared them to receive the abundance that is coming. The time to embrace the future is now, and the listener is reminded that they are not walking this path alone. The divine is walking with them, and the heavens are cheering them on, waiting for them to claim the blessings that have been prepared for them since the beginning of time. In this moment of reflection, the listener is invited to offer up a prayer, a heartfelt plea for divine intervention, guidance, and trust in God's perfect timing. This prayer is not one of fear or doubt, but one of complete surrender to the divine will. It is a prayer that acknowledges the listener's dependence on God's wisdom, understanding, and grace. And it is a declaration that they are ready to move forward in faith, knowing that God's hand is upon their life. The prayer is an offering, a sacred act of trust that opens the door for divine intervention to move in powerful ways. The listener asks for guidance, for clarity, and for the strength to follow the path that God has set before them. They ask for the courage to face the challenges that may come, and the wisdom to make the right decisions along the way. And above all, they ask for the unwavering assurance that God is with them, that His love surrounds them, and that His plan will lead them to the life they were always meant to live. As the prayer concludes, a final affirmation of faith is made, a declaration that the breakthrough is near, and that God's hand is guiding the listener toward a divine future. This affirmation is not just words, it is a deep, unwavering belief that the divine is at work in their life, that the miracle they have been waiting for is already in motion, and that their future is filled with hope, purpose, and abundance. It is a declaration that they trust in God's plan, that they trust in His timing, and that they are ready to walk into the future that He has prepared for them. The listener affirms that they will not let fear, doubt, or uncertainty stop them from embracing the divine blessings that are already in motion. They will trust in God's hand, and they will move forward with confidence, knowing that the breakthrough is closer than ever before. As the prayer is sealed with a final affirmation, the listener's heart is filled with peace, knowing that they are not walking this path alone. God's hand is upon them, and the heavens are supporting them every step of the way. The future is bright, and the miracle is already unfolding. In this moment, the listener has made a choice to trust in the divine, to step into their destiny, and to embrace the blessings that are waiting for them. They have chosen faith over fear, trust over doubt, and hope over despair. The divine has already prepared the way, and now it is up to the listener to walk in it with confidence. The breakthrough is near, and the miracle is waiting to be fully realized. All that is left is for the listener to continue walking forward in faith, knowing that God's hand is leading them toward the divine future that has always been meant for them. The heavens are with them, and the time for their breakthrough has arrived.